Morning everyone, it's Thursday, unbelievably again, and it runs so fast. Thursday morning, we are going to do a workout this morning that requires a dumbbell or a kettlebell. If you've only got one, that's not a problem. There are a couple of different elements in the workout today, which means that conceivably, if you've got different weights and you want to use those to suit, you can absolutely do that as well. All right. A bit of an upper body focus in terms of the isolated work we're going to do at the start, with a little bit of core thrown in there as well. And then we're going to do a new little flow with a couple of bits that we know and have worked on before. And we'll do that on a bit of a rolling clock to finish off. It's a nice little challenge in there today. All right, so let's find some space. We're going to warm up the spine first, lower back and thoracic spine, and then we're going to work through a little bit of a yoga type flow to get our heart rate up and to warm up the shoulders and the hips a little bit as well. So find a space down on the floor. I'm going to start my clock. So drop to the floor. We're going to start with some lumbar rolls, okay? So you're going to lie flat on the floor with your feet down, feet hip width apart, and we're going to roll side to side. And you're going to do 5 with the feet at hip width apart, because that gives us a bit more into each hip as well, because it allows that trail leg to move. Once you've had 10 in total here, you're then going to bring feet and knees together and then go again. And this will start to move up more into the lower back, possibly up through the sides of the lower back as well. Get 5 each way here. Once you've had 5 each way there, you're then going to pick your feet up off the floor. So now your knees will be in 90-degree position, knees above the hips, and we're going to work the same here, just 5 each way. Try and keep both shoulders pinned down to the floor. Nice and controlled. You might get the odd little click and clunk through your back, that's fine. Once you're finished, plant the feet on the floor, and we're going to come up and over. So what we're going to do, guys, for this next little bit, we're going to warm up the hamstrings, we're going to warm up the hips, we're going to warm up the shoulders, because we're going to be holding up basically the top of a press-up position for a while. So we're going to do a downward dog, okay, which requires us to start in a press-up position. And we're going to send the hips high to the ceiling, but we're going to reach through. So we're going to reach through with one hand towards the opposite foot, come back to the top of that press up, hit another one, and then off the down dog, you'll step one leg forward, keep the back leg straight, send it back into another down dog. So every time we are moving into a down dog in between each rep. So I take that foot back, and then I'm going to go back to my hand taps or toe taps, and then into a long lunge, step back into a down dog, long lunge on the other side. And we want 5 of these in total. So I've just done 2 there. Carry on through and get 3 more. So a toe tap, a step through, down dog, step through. Thinking about how I control the pelvis position all the time. I'm working my way through, definitely feeling some heat in the shoulders, spending a little second or 2 in that long position, and then slowly walk yourself up to standing once you're done. Good. Can I continue to get into the hips a little bit with a little lunge sequence to finish, just 3 in each position. We'll do 1 forward lunge, 1 lateral lunge, 1 reverse lunge, moving the same leg every time. So every repetition, just allowing a little bit more depth, a little bit more dynamism. Once we finished, we're going to hit those reps on the other side. So 1 forward lunge, 1 side lunge, 1 reverse lunge, 3 times through. Allowing some freedom of movement of the spine and arms, letting things naturally go where they want to go, and work through 3 on each. Good stuff. All right. Should be suitably warm now. Just going to explain what we're going to do first. So we're going to work for 30 seconds on each element in this first exercise. But we've got to do left side, right side. Okay, this is going to tank your chest and your core. And we're going to do 5 rounds of this. So we're going to do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. Take a minute rest. Okay. And what we're going to do is we'll be down on the floor and we're going to do a single arm floor press. Okay, so we've got a single arm floor press in a good set position, feet on the floor. If you're using a dumbbell, just holding it in the hand. If you're using a kettlebell, obviously you'll be sitting on the outside in that rack position. And we're going to come down, elbow to the floor and press. And we're going to go for 30 seconds. And if you need to break up that 30 seconds and take a 5-10 second rest in the middle, that's completely fine. As soon as we finish that 30 seconds, I'm going to lock the arm out and I'm going to come straight into a single arm dead bug. So I'm keeping the weight locked out on that one side and I'm doing a dead bug, alternating which leg kicks out each time. Okay, now I can, if I need to, work one side at a time. The caveat with that dead bug is keeping the lower back flat to the floor and the arm perpendicular, okay? You can also shorten the length of the lever so we're not fully extending the leg each time, all right? You need to do whatever version of the dead bug that you need to keep your back flat to the floor, all right? Cool, let's get into position. We'll start in about 5 seconds. So pull the weight in close, take it up, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, away we go. Into that floor press first. Pressing the arm to the ceiling, keeping the elbow over the wrist and shoulder. Good, about 10 seconds to go. Keep pumping those reps out, squeezing the chest in at the top. 3, 2, 1. Lock that arm out and then into our dead bug. Pressing the weight towards the ceiling, active shoulder, not just letting the weight sink through the shoulder and the elbow bend, keeping that arm active. Last 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Time there, move things across. Take your time. I'll tell you when we're going to go. We're going to go in 5, 3, 2, 1. Away we go. Floor press on the other side. Pressing that weight towards the ceiling. Remembering that we don't want to bounce the arm off the floor. Stay with it. Good, keep pressing. 3, 2, 1. We're into our dead bugs. Nice and controlled, keeping the lower back pinned to the floor. Stay with it. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time there. Nicely done. Good work. Remember that it's the quality that we want, okay? We want it to be hard. We want to have constant tension if we can, making sure that we don't bounce that arm off the floor. We want a light touch of the tricep on the floor and then press out from there. And then when we're doing the Dead bugs, that arm stays locked out in that position so we're not passively letting the weight drive us towards the floor. I'm staying active all the time, contracting through the chest to keep my hand over my elbow and shoulder so we're not in any other position other than directly over the shoulder. Good stuff, down we go. Plenty of time, 30 seconds to go. So remember to keep your feet planted to the floor for the press. 20 seconds. Ten seconds then, so I'm going to get myself set in position. Feet flat to the floor, bringing the weight up. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Away we go. So thinking about how I control that load. Pressing the weight in towards the body. Last 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. We're now into our dead bug. My back stays flat to the floor. I'm pressing that arm, locking it out. Controlling my breathing, not letting the weight pull me to one side. Halfway. Last 5 seconds. And time there. Good. Slowly control the weight. Bring it down. Switch it over to the other side. We got time. Don't worry. Okay, set it up. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Floor press. Pressing that weight away. Keeping the hand over the shoulder. Over the elbow all the time. Not letting the weight drive us to the floor, collapsing the arm. Stay with it, keep pumping those reps up. 15 seconds to go. Good, banging the reps in. Hold it in 3, 2, 1, lock that arm up, and away we go. Actually went a little bit longer than I think. On the press on that right side. Stay with it, guys, we're almost done. 3, 2, 1, and that's time there. Great work. Catch your breath. A minute of recovery. We did go a little bit longer on that second arm side. Apologies for that. Two sets down. 30 seconds before we go again. So remember, you can break up the 30 seconds as you need to, either hold it at the top or actually bring it down and rest at the bottom before another rep, okay? 15 seconds to go, so we want to be back down on the deck. And let's remember that we want quality over quantity, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Up into my press, controlling where the weight's going all the time. Keeping my hand over my elbow at the bottom and everything stacked at the top. Less than 10 seconds to go. 5, 3, 2, one, lock it out and up into our dead bug. Remembering, only letting the legs go as far as you can keep your lower back flat to the floor. That's halfway in. Controlling the breath, pressing that lower back down into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time there. Bring the weight down. Switch it over. We've got time. Still got 10 seconds, okay? So make sure we're good and set and ready to go. 5, 4, 2, 1, and we press. Good, nice and controlled. Stay with it, keep going. Stay nice and tight. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And straight into those dead bugs. Pressing that weight to the ceiling. Remain active through that supporting arm. If the load is starting to become too much, you can always do this without the weight if you need to, or you can even bring it in and support it with the other arm. Less than 10 seconds to go now. Last 5, 2, 1, and time there. Nicely done. Whew. How's the chest feeling, guys? We've had a big lower body focus this past couple of weeks, so this is an interesting sensation. Really nice though. Building that shoulder stability through the press, and then also asking other parts of the body to move while we remain stable up top. It's actually going to be important with what we've got coming next. All right, down into position for set 4. We start in just under 10 seconds. Down we go, weight up and away in 2, 1, go. Nice neat press. Remembering, we don't need to hammer out the reps here. We want good, solid technique as we're starting to fatigue. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lock the arm out and straight into that dead bug. Bringing the knee right in as deep as you can. So we're actively pulling into hip flexion on one leg and actively pressing the other leg away like a leg press. 10 seconds. 5, 2, 1. Time there. Slowly bring the weight in. And get ready to go on the other side. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm locked out, and I press. Under control all the time. Under control. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm locked out. Dead bug. Nice and controlled. Keeping the hand over the elbow, over the shoulder. Extending the leg as far as you can. Remembering that if you need to support that arm now, you absolutely can. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and time there. Lower the weight down. That's 4 sets. We got 1 to go. Nicely done. Good quality through this last set. 30 seconds to go before our final set. So nothing changes here, guys. Okay, we just want good quality, lots of tension through the arm, and really concentrating on getting a good squeeze of the chest, of your pec, as you lock out at the top. Okay, down we go. You've got 10 seconds before we go. This is the final set, you'll be glad to know. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Last set. Keep working. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lock it out. Dead bug for the last time on this side. Stay in control, keeping the rib cage pinned down, even though that weight's on the one side. Stay with it. Less than 10 seconds now. 5, 3, 2, 1. Time there. Whew. Here we go, last side. We start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Away we go. Good stuff. Good. Getting ready for the last set. With dead bugs, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lock out. Away we go. This is it. Active through the arm and shoulder. Squeeze the chest in to stabilize the arm. Full extension on the leg if you can, while you're drawing that other knee in towards the chest. Just don't let the legs fall out. Last 5 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Time. Bring the weight down. And rest. Nicely done. All right. Take a breather. Okay. Extended rest point now. And we're going to get ready for our little bit of our flow, okay? Which requires some skill, some accuracy. And obviously we're going to link things together, all right? So we need some coordination in there as well. Good luck. Okay, so we've got a single arm clean and press to get the weight over our head, okay? Once it's overhead, you're just going to adjust your feet and we're going to slide into a windmill, okay? So that with our arm locked out overhead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to single arm swing into a clean, press it overhead. I'm then going to turn the non-weight side foot away from the body rather than it forwards. And from that position, I'm going to slide down, sipping the weight into my back leg, but imagining that I've got a hole running down through my arm. Okay, so I'm sliding down, my arms are finished straight, I'll come back up. I'm only going to go as far as my hamstrings and hips and lower back will let me go. Okay, slide through the windmill, come up, and then we're going to hit a get up. So keeping that weight here, I'll step opposite leg down, hand to the floor through another little windmill, sit through, down and lower, sit up, bring that knee under the body, straighten up and stand. Bring the weight down, rest for the appropriate amount of time, go again when I tell you to go, but on the other side. All right? Lots to remember, I'll talk you through it as we go. We've got 45 seconds before we start. So we want good quality with this. So single arm, clean and press. One windmill, one get up, bring the weight down. 20 seconds. 15 seconds, I'm a bit nervous. All right, less than 10 now. Wipe those hands off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Reach up for the weight, bring it in, swing to the shoulder, press overhead. And then change the angle of my feet, slide down, looking at the kettlebell a little bit if I can. Come on up, keep it overhead. Knee to floor. Hand down. Sweep the foot through, keep the hips away. Sit down, slide down. And then reverse that. Push the weight up to the ceiling. Bridge off the floor. Knee underneath. Into my kneeling lunge. Press and stand. Hand to shoulder. Down through the string. Back to the floor. Nice. 20 seconds to get it done. And we're going to go on the other side. So we're doing a repetition every minute, guys, okay? And we're going to go for 10 minutes. Yes, I did say 10 minutes. So 10 in total, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Reach out into that single arm clean and press. Adjust the feet down into my windmill, up overhead. And then I take an opposite knee down to the floor, hand down, sweep through, sit down, lie to the floor, keeping the same knee up as on that weight side, press to the ceiling, hip bridge off the floor, knee underneath, up into my half kneeling, stand, in and down. Beautiful. Good job, well done. Excellent. Up to standing, good. And bring it down. About 10 seconds before we go on the other side. This is going to get quite spicy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Swing to the shoulder. Press overhead. Slide down through the windmill. Keeping the arm pressed to the ceiling. I take opposite knee back. Down to the floor. Hand down. Sweep through. Sit down. Lower down. Notice that the same knee on the weight side is pulled up. Press that weight to the ceiling. Off the floor with my hips, knee underneath the body. That's super important. Notice my arm stays perpendicular all the time. Press up, weight the shoulder, and down. Nice. 20 seconds before we get onto the other side. Good stuff. 10 seconds. It's going to get to a point where we're just switching from one side to the other. 3, 2, 1. Rep number 4. Pull it in. Swing. Press. Down into the windmill. Notice I'm keeping that weight pressed to the ceiling all the time. I then take opposite knee back. Down to the floor. Opposite hand down. Keeping the weight pressed to the ceiling. Sit to the floor, roll onto that supported shoulder, and then down. Same coming up. I roll onto my supported shoulder, press the weight to the ceiling, press into a bridge, knee underneath, straighten up. In that position, make sure I'm set ready for the lunge, and stand, bring the weight to the shoulder, and down. Whew. That's 45 gone, 15 seconds to go, guys, to get finished and ready for rep number 5, which will put us at the halfway mark. 3, 2, 1, away we go. So if we're struggling to get this done in the time, you're just going to keep going for the 10 minutes, getting as many reps in as you can, okay? Down, hand down, foot through, sit down, down onto the shoulder, and then onto the shoulder, onto the elbow, onto the hand on my support side, bridge off the floor, knee underneath the body as much as I can, straighten up, press, down and rest. Good stuff. So if you're not quite getting them done in a minute at this point, guys, just take as much rest as you need to and keep alternating side to side until the 10 minutes is up, all right? This is rep number 6 though. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So let's see if we can make it flow nicely now. As soon as it's there, press. As soon as it's there, slide down and up. And then same foot back, opposite foot back, knee down, hand down, foot through, sit down, rest onto the elbow, onto the shoulder, and down, and then press onto the shoulder, through the elbow, up to the hand, bridge off the floor, knee underneath, keep the weight pressed to the ceiling all the time, and stand, bring it back to the shoulder, down to the floor, and out. 6 down, 2 to go on each side, or 4 minutes of work left, whichever you're at. Just under 15 seconds. Remember, we want good quality in this, guys, okay? So don't worry about getting them done in a minute if we're struggling. It's just the reps we need. If you're still on the minute, we're going in 2, 1, away we go. Swing, press, windmill. Same foot back, opposite foot back to the front leg. Oh, I messed that one up. Good, hand down. If your brain starts to go, just slow down and take your time. I had a bit of a brain fart there. Press to the ceiling, bridge off the floor, knee underneath. Press, bring to the shoulder, down through the swing, out and in front. So I went a little bit too quick there and I took the same knee back as the side the weight was on, which meant I was in a different position when my knees were on the floor. Okay, just take your time. So 7 down, number 8 is coming up. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Reach into the swing, onto the shoulder, press, down. Remember that you're taking the opposite knee back to where the weight's at. Foot back, knee down, hand down, scoot through, sit down, supported by the elbow, supported by the shoulder, roll flat. Roll onto the shoulder, onto the elbow, press up with the hand, bridge off the floor, knee underneath, straighten up, get the foot stacked where you want them to be, press, in and down. Good. Just taking a little look at where the weight is as you're moving through that. I helps you to orientate your arm in space, okay? Just like on the floor press, we want it stacked all the way through. Guys, 2 reps to go. 1 on each side. We start in 3, 2, 1. Away you go. You know what we're doing now. Clean, press, windmill. And then a get up. We've worked on these in isolation before, so you know what we're doing. It's just a little bit harder under duress. Take control, bring it down to the floor, guys. Really important that we respect the kettlebell all the time, or the dumbbell. Remember, if you are using the dumbbell, that swing almost becomes a bit more of a squat to get it to the shoulder and overhead. 1 more rep, guys, 20 seconds away. Last rep. Or if you're just moving through and you don't know where you're at right now, just keep on moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. I keep the kettlebell away from me, okay? Because it allows me to pull it into the swing, to the shoulder, press, just move my feet slightly. I'm looking where that kettlebell is, just to make sure, especially when I'm turning my torso, that I know exactly where it is stacked over my shoulder. Just keeping an eye on it. Straighten up. Take your time. If that kettlebell's moved, stabilize it before you move. Lovely stuff. Great work, guys. If you're still working and you're working constantly, you've got 10 seconds to go to get finished up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is time. Wowzers, how are the shoulders feeling, guys? Ha! Awesome. Great job. Catch your breath, have a little drink, and we're just going to unwind a little bit, hit a few variations of a child's pose just to give the shoulders and the upper back a bit of TLC, and we'll be finished. Alrighty, so let's come down onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Okay, so side on, we've got a good flat back position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. From that position, I want you to take your knees out incredibly wide. Okay, so you can see they're outside my shoulders now. I'm going to bring my toes to meet right in the middle of the body, and I'm going to send the weight back through my heels. Side on, I'm going to send the weight back here, and I'm going to slide down into a child's pose. Keeping my hips sitting back and reaching my arms away. And just let everything relax for a few seconds, all right? Don't worry about pushing or pressing anywhere, but just relax it. You can let your head drop to the floor and just catch a few breaths. Good, so your hands should be about shoulder width apart there, guys, okay? I'm pointing towards 12 o'clock. What I want you to do now is walk them round to about 11 o'clock, maybe even 10 if you've got it in there, but don't let the hips travel forwards, okay? And then take your right hand and put it on top of your left, with your head down in between the hands. And you should feel a nice big stretch coming up the right hand side of the body. You might feel that through your lats, quite high up under your armpit. You might feel it down through your lower back. It doesn't matter where you feel it. Nice and slowly walk your hands back to the center and do the same towards 1 and 2 o'clock. Taking that left hand and putting it on top of the right with your head down on the floor in between your hands. Now, you might feel it up under your armpit on one side and down through your lower back on the other side. You might feel it through all of that outside stretch of the body, okay? Just gives you a bit of an idea of where's tightest. Good, come back to the center. Staying in this child's pose. You're just going to come up onto your fingertips, like you're holding a bowl under each hand. All right, and up in that raised position, just look up at your hands and see if you can get your chest through towards the floor a little bit more. You should feel your shoulder blades come together, pressing that chest through towards the floor, feeling that extension through the middle of your back. You might even get a bit of a lat stretch in here. Good, hands flat to the floor. Slowly walk yourself back up to that 4-point kneeling position, up into a full kneel position, and we're done.